You are not going to believe this story. I opened a brick-and-mortar gaming store with absolutely no money, and that story now turns over $250,000 in profit per year. It's hard work though, and I can't understate how you need to be on top of your numbers and your business plan. Here's how I did it, and please note that I do not necessarily recommend doing it this way, but hopefully it's an example of thinking outside of the box and will inspire you with your business aspirations. First, I built up a good credit rating that allows for funding and supplier accounts. This took me years to build a good credit rating, so if yours is in the dumps, you'll need to start here first. Also, fair warning, my credit rating went into the trash after opening because I maxed out all my credit cards for extra cash. Eventually, I was able to smooth things out and pay it all back, and my credit is back to normal now, but I was prepared for this. Second, I made the most in-depth business plan possible, covering my costs in excruciating detail and numbers for expected income. I researched everything in detail: the market, demographics, population. I spoke to members of the public, other similar businesses across the country and the world. Then went back and revised my expected income to a more realistic scenario. I then slashed it again to a worst-case scenario and eventually ended up landing somewhere between worst-case and realistic for the first year. Third, I spoke to landlords until I found one willing to let me trial the idea as a pop-up in their empty unit in return for covering their insurance plus utilities and other base costs for 3 months. Fourth, I moved back in with family, as you simply cannot do this while paying rent and bills. It sucks if you don't have that privilege that I'm fully aware I did have at the time. Consider living with family if there's other ways to minimize your monthly living costs to bare minimum, or you save up enough to last you 12 months of runway of living expenses for just yourself. This is separate from the cash needed for the business. If you are still with me so far, please like and subscribe to my channel for more wealth inspiration. Back to the story. Fifth, I learned all the skills to do literally everything myself, including website, marketing, building all the furniture and counters, etc. Again, this is something you'll need to get prepared for in advance, having to do much of the work on your own. Sixth, I worked day and night building out the space, begged and borrowed for what I could, leased equipment, used credit cards to buy what I couldn't make with my own hands. And even then I shopped around online across the entire globe. Seventh, I opened and I ran the best store I could to get word of mouth out there. Multiple events, multiple deals, constantly spoke to customers asking what they wanted. Worked 7 days per week, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and until 12 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Eighth, I collected customer data during this whole time, encouraged people to get on our newsletter, and left signs about our signs up in the shop windows after we left our temporary spot. Ninth, after the 3 months ended, I banked the income and then ran an online crowdfunding campaign like Kickstarter or Indiegogo and marketed the heck out of it to our existing and future customer base. It funded, and I added the money to a small starter business loan I'd found out about. And finally, 10th, I managed to reopen permanently. And I added in what we couldn't afford initially over time. I gradually added employees so I could take a break for the first time in 2 years. Then I moved back into my own apartment. Now I have a full team running it and things are going well. This is not for the faint of heart. And it greatly affected my mental health in ways I'm still recovering from. However, I'm telling this story to show anything is possible if you have nothing but pure determination and passion. Thanks for listening.